10 Great Michael J. Fox Movies and TV Shows, for all your werewolf and time travel needs. When I think of some kings of the 80s in terms of movies and TV shows, one of the first names that always pops into my mind is Michael J. Fox. The actor, known for famous roles in the Back to the Future franchise and several other major projects in Hollywood, blew up during that time period and only continued to do well. While Fox is known for some of excellent roles, he's been in plenty of awesome movies and TV shows that I think you should watch right now if you're a fan. If you're looking for some Michael J. Fox movies and TV shows, watch on to see our picks. Teen Wolf.
One of my personal favorite werewolf movies, Teen Wolf tells the story of a teenager who's down on his luck at school, socially, athletically, and all around. However, when he begins to turn into a werewolf, his life begins to change, for better or worse. No, this isn't the Teen Wolf cast that you might know from the TV series. This is what Teen Wolf was based on, all the way back in 1985. When I watched this film, I can't imagine anyone else but the charismatic Michael J. Fox playing the lead character, Scott Howard. Not only is it a fun fantasy film, but a great coming-of-age movie that has plenty of quirks and funny moments that anyone will enjoy, from beginning to end.
Family Ties.
Now, we take a look at Family Ties, a popular sitcom of the 80s. The series showed the family dynamic between ex-hippie parents and their young children, who grew up in the conservative 80s mindset of America. Arguably, this is really what made Michael J. Fox famous. Fox did a fantastic job in the role of Alex P. Keaton. It's a great family-friendly show with a lot of messages behind many of the storylines, with plenty of stars that have come off and on throughout its run, such as River Phoenix, Tom Hanks, Courtney Cox, and several others. Fox won several Primetime Emmy Awards for his role, which were well-deserved.
The Secret of My Success.
In this great comedy film, The Secret of My Success tells the story of Brentley Foster, a young man who recently left his home in Kansas, traveling to Manhattan, where he wants to work his way up in the world. The Secret of My Success is such a classic work movie. Michael J. Fox is great in his leading role, and the film also offers the message of working hard to achieve your goals. His character does that and more, with some comedic effect of course.
Casualties of War.
Moving on to a war film, Casualties of War is based on the true story of the 1966 incident on Hill 192 during the Vietnam War, where a Vietnamese woman was kidnapped from her village by American soldiers, who murdered her. Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn star in this film, and both do fantastically. While this is a movie and some artistic influence will always be there, the retelling of this story based on a true tale is chilling, mixed in with beautiful set design and a hauntingly wonderful score. I personally think it's an excellent war film and one that deserves so much credit.
Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
Next up, Michael J. Fox stepped into the animated movie world with Atlantis, The Lost Empire. This Disney animated film follows a young linguist, named Milo, who gains possession of a sacred book, which he believes is a guide that will lead him and a crew of mercenaries to the ancient lost city of Atlantis. Let me tell you, Atlantis, The Lost Empire is such an underrated animated movie that deserves so much more love at the box office when it came out. Michael J. Fox slaps as Milo, as does the rest of this phenomenal cast. The characters are fantastic, the animation is stunning, and the score by James Newton Howard? Beautiful, can't even put into words. If you haven't taken the time out to watch Atlantis, The Lost Empire, do so now. It's so good, and needs all the attention in the world, way more than it got back then.
The Good Wife.
In this popular political drama TV show, The Good Wife follows Alicia Florrick, the wife of Cook County State's attorney, who returns to her career after the events of a public sex and political corruption scandal that involved her husband. Michael J. Fox was on The Good Wife from 2010 to 2016, playing Louis Canning. And while he only appeared for 26 episodes, his character stood out amongst the rest, showing Fox's dramatic acting skills beautifully. Honestly, you shouldn't even just watch this show for Fox. The Good Wife is greatly written political drama that will intrigue you from the very beginning. with the compelling character of Florrick at the forefront.
Spin City.
Michael J. Fox returned to sitcoms in 1996 with the introduction of Spin City. This sitcom presents a fictionalized version of the local government of New York City, following Randall Wisden, the mayor, and his staff, but the main person in charge is the deputy mayor, Mike Flaherty. While Fox left the show after the first 4 seasons to spend more time with his family and work toward a cure for Parkinson's disease, no one can deny that while he was on Spin City, he did a fantastic job. Fox's character, Mike, is hilarious, good at his job, but definitely has his own human issues such as his neglecting his personal life that anyone with a 9-to-5 could agree with. Each episode is fun and full of laughs.
Stuart Little.
Returning back to the animated voice front, Michael J. Fox has voiced one of Hollywood's most famous rodents, no, not Remy from Ratatouille, but Stuart from the Stuart Little films. In these popular children's films, Stuart is a mouse who is adopted by the Little family into their home, and we get to follow his adventures as he tries to become an accepted member of the family. Honestly, Stuart Little is just a load of fun. Every time I watch these films, whether with kids or by myself, I find myself always laughing at something. There's just something so wholesome about Stuart, this little mouse who just wants to be accepted into this home, and is willing to do anything to have that. Michael J. Fox provides a great voiceover for Stuart, as does the rest of the cast.
The Frighteners.
In this comedy/supernatural movie, The Frighteners tells the story of a man named Frank Bannister, an architect who develops the practices of necromancy, psychic abilities and other powers after his wife's murder. Directed by Peter Jackson, The Frighteners is frighteningly fun. Michael J. Fox is great in this lead role, and adds that certain quirk of comedy that we all know he has, mixed in with a fun mystery with a ghost that can harm people from the other side. It's entertaining, enjoyable, and an all-around good time.
Back to the Future series.
You know it, you love it, it's the Back to the Future series. In this popular sci-fi movie trilogy, Back to the Future tells the story of Marty, a teenager who is accidentally sent back in time by his scientist friend, Doc Brown, in his time-traveling automobile. After he inadvertently messes with the past, threatening his existence, he must try and fix what he did and somehow get back to the future. I feel like if you love movies, Back to the Future is always one of those favorites that everyone loves. With a stellar Back to the Future cast, great set design, funny comedic bits, and some quotes that have become timeless, Back to the Future is one of those movie series that is hard to beat. To me, Back to the Future was one of the best films of the 80s. And that's partially because of the amazing performance from Michael J. Fox, paired with Christopher Lloyd. With so many great films and TV shows under his belt, Michael J. Fox truly stands out as an amazing, versatile actor in his field. Now, if you're looking for some of his best work, maybe you might have found a new favorite film to watch. Or you're just looking for another excuse to watch the Back to the Future movies like me. Regardless, have fun watching.
Well, that's all, folks.
That's my line.
Step aside, babe. Let a star do this. That's all!
That's all, folks!